In 1985, in Springfield, Missouri, 35-year-old Ina Court and her 4-year-old son Rory were found dead in their home. Ina had been stabbed multiple times and sexually assaulted. Rory had been drowned in the bathtub. Sells later confessed to that murder. He said he met Ina at a bar, followed her home, and killed them both because she reminded him of his mother. That same year, he was working at a carnival in Arkansas when he met a 19-year-old woman named Fabienne Witherspoon. She offered to take him to a house to give him food and a shower. He repaid her by stabbing her 18 times. Somehow, she survived. He didn't. He was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. While incarcerated, he was diagnosed with a laundry list of mental health issues: bipolar disorder, antisocial personality disorder, hallucinations, but he was released after serving just 2 years. After that, it got worse. One of the most horrific crimes Tommy Lynn Sells was linked to happened in November 1987 in a small town called Ina, Illinois. The Dardine family, Keith, Elaine, their 3-year-old son Peter, and Elaine's unborn baby, were found brutally murdered. Keith had been shot and mutilated. Elaine had been beaten to death with a baseball bat while holding Peter, who was also killed. Elaine went into labor during the assault. Sells said he then killed the newborn. It was pure evil. For years, no one knew who had done it. The crime scene was too bizarre, too overkill, too sadistic. It looked like something out of a horror movie. People in the town started locking their doors for the first time. Rumors flew. Some thought Keith had done it himself in a rage before turning the gun on himself. But there was no resolution, until Tommy Lynn Sells came forward years later and said it was him. He claimed he had met Keith Dardine randomly, that Keith had invited him home to play music, and then something snapped. But again, there was no physical evidence tying him to the scene, only his confession. And that was a pattern. Tommy Lynn Sells was a man who moved through the world like a shadow, his presence both unremarkable and terrifying. The victims he left behind were scattered across the United States, their lives extinguished in the blink of an eye, with no rhyme or reason to the destruction he wrought. His killings were spontaneous and unpredictable, marked only by the sudden violence that shattered the silence of their ordinary lives. What made him truly horrifying wasn't just the brutality of his actions, but the utter randomness of it all. He didn't kill for money, for revenge, or even for the thrill of it. He killed because he wanted to, and for reasons that even he couldn't fully articulate, he needed to. Sells had no distinct pattern to his killings. Unlike most serial killers, who have particular types of victims or a signature method, Sells could strike anywhere, at any time, with anyone as his target. He was a true outlier in the world of murderers, someone who defied the usual motivations. Sometimes he killed because of rage. His arsenal was as diverse as his methods: knives, guns, his bare hands. His killings were quick, brutal, and without mercy. He didn't need a plan or a motive. He just needed a victim. The FBI classified Sells as a spree killer rather than a serial killer. The distinction was important, though both labels marked him as a dangerous predator. A serial killer typically follows a pattern: victimology, methodology, and cooling off periods between murders. Not Tommy Lynn Sells.